Even pain becomes sacred because it reveals where separation still exists. Jesus lived this state so profoundly that he could love even his executioners. This is not weakness, it's pure power, the power to transcend the ego and be an unconditional channel of love. This is not learned, it is awakened, and every step lived in fullness leads us to this point. It's important to say that wisdom that is not taught is only received by those who have already been through the fire. Those who still seek shortcuts, formulas, or recognition cannot access it, not as a punishment, but due to a lack of attunement. It's like trying to listen to a symphony with a poorly tuned radio. The frequency of higher wisdom demands purity of intention, openness of heart, and humility of spirit. It is simple. Therefore, it is invisible to the prideful eyes. But for those who have silenced enough, it reveals itself in the details, in the breeze, in a glance, in a gesture of tenderness, and it transforms everything, not by the content it brings, but by the presence it carries. At this point in the journey, the soul begins to inhabit two worlds at the same time, the visible and the invisible. It operates in the common world, but with superior awareness. It speaks with words, but transmits vibration. It acts in time, but tunes into the eternal. This is the beginning of Christ-like wisdom, the consciousness that doesn't need to dominate anything to manifest everything, the presence that doesn't demand anything but reveals everything, and it is in this presence that the seeker becomes a master, not in the sense of someone who teaches, but of someone who embodies the truth, and this in itself is the greatest teaching possible. When Jesus said, "Those who have eyes to see, let them see," he was not talking about physical vision, but spiritual perception. The wisdom that is not taught is this, that which can only be received by those willing to see beyond the visible, hear beyond the audible, and feel beyond the emotional. It's not about blind faith, it's about awakened perception, and only those who accept to die to the known awaken. The soul now lives in another time, at another pace. It no longer chases life, it lives from life, and it becomes an extension of the divine in everything it does. At the end of these 5 steps, the seeker is no longer the same, not because they learned more, but because they let go more. They no longer carry theories, they carry presence. They no longer seek explanations, they live revelations. They no longer want to convince, they want to live in truth.